You are a part of the Ace and TJ radio family.
Go.
This is launch control.
Let's synchronize, shall we?
Ace, TJ, Riggins, Alexis, Tech D-Rob.
Ready. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go! Live from the Calitrin Studios, this is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
You know it. Act like y'all don't know. The weather is terrible. I mean, terrible where we are in the great state of North Carolina. The great, yet not always free state of North Carolina. I'm going to throw that in there. So Alexi is running a little bit late. She's driving so super slowly, she said. Which, translation, she woke up so super slowly.
Maybe. It's a possibility. It is always a possibility.
Yeah, they've canceled classes here.
I know.
Which I don't understand. I don't understand that.
The people were vicious on social media yesterday. We would have had books over our heads in the hallways. I'm like, first of all, you're like 30. No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Stop it. But people were just livid. Fire the school board. It's wind and rain.
Well, they are predicting tornadic activity and things like that, and but yeah, I guess because it's always the rural areas that get the schools closed, because you got to worry about trees on the road and all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, and a lot of times people forget. It's just if one part of the area is going to have bad weather, you got to shut down the whole thing because it's too hard to say, hey, these schools are going to go, but these schools aren't, and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of you got to kind of be fair to everybody in that deal.
And if you're a parent, let this be the motivation that you have to get your kids out of public school.
Is that the solution?
Yes. Yeah.
But
absolutely.
It is funny to see people just become the baddest A's around when they do something like that. When I was in school, we would walk. I'm like, you're 24.
Yeah, especially millennials acting like they're
oh my gosh.
Y'all are all tough and stuff.
The pearl clutching, I guess, is what it is. I'm not really sure.
I love that.
But
Pearl clutching.
Oh my God. They're canceling. Okay, well. They did it. I don't know.
And in a lot of cases, you can look back on it and go, you know what? If you had the technology or the information that you had when you were in school, they probably would have canceled school then also.
Yeah, probably.
There were days that we probably went to school as kids. You look back on it and go, maybe we shouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
This is kind of frightening.
Or if people with green hair and septum rings were making the decisions like they are these days, we would have probably been called off school for a lot more. But there are a lot of those days you can look back on and go, man, if we'd had this amount of information, maybe we wouldn't have either. Now, I don't know what's accurate or appropriate in this particular situation because I don't have a kid in school. I haven't really looked.
Yeah.
So I don't know the answer. I have my feeling is this is seems like an overreaction, but I don't know.
Somebody's saying because of the wind, it's something to do with the school buses. Like they don't advise school buses to be driving when winds are over 70 or something.
Which makes some sense. And again, it's a very, if anything were to go wrong, you've opened yourself up to a tremendous lawsuit. Yeah. So you got to be careful. You got to take all those things in consideration. I don't know what the proper answer is in this case, but.
No government.
Is the answer?
No government schools. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Because they get you, you're dependent upon them to get through your life. Because they own the buses. Little wind comes up and they say, well, you know what? We don't feel like going in today, so we're going to say it's because of the buses.
Yeah, well, I think they get too many other days off, but that's a difference. That's a totally different scenario right there.
Oh, don't get me started. Do not get me started.
Let's see what's trending.
It's not the news, it's more important. Now trending with Riggins on the Ace and TJ show.
Michigan is the top trending topic after last night's college football championship. Michigan defeating Washington. A lot of people very excited.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, love Michigan.
Like I said yesterday, as soon as LSU, you could see that they had no chance to win the national championship during the season, I started rooting for Michigan because I like Jim Harbaugh. Good for him. And I'm happy for him.
Couldn't help but think about the Harbaugh family last night. So the father was a college coach and was on the Michigan staff at some point as they grew up. Jim Harbaugh went to Michigan. Jim Harbaugh and his brother coached against each other in the Super Bowl. So they have of their sons now, one has won a Super Bowl, the other has won the college football national championship. Pretty impressive family all the way around.
Yeah, his parents are super wholesome. They're
They
just like
seem to be very good people.
extremely wholesome
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
except for their son's cheating allegations.
He wasn't cheating.
So they are the top trending topic, followed by Washington. A lot of people watched that game last night.
Yeah, they expect it could be the biggest, most watched college football championship game ever. It would have to do more than 34 million people, I think, to do that. So.
Yeah, I feel bad for Penix Jr. However we're saying it. We still haven't decided how we're
No,
going
we
to say
have
it.
decided Penix is how he pronounces his name.
I don't know
Said
that
how
it's been
we're
settled.
saying it. We haven't decided how we're saying
We're
it.
going to...
We never thought about saying it any other way than Michael Penix Jr. because that's his name.
It's not settled, but we'll see.
decide later.
Penix, whatever. I feel
but-
bad for him.
But how do y'all feel about his showing up wearing a ski mask or whatever he was wearing when he was warming up last night?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He showed up wearing full mask.
Oh, I don't know.
Thing.
Might have missed
Really?
that. I don't know what that was
The
about.
hidden face.
Yeah.
Kind of a tough look.
Yeah.
Showing up in a
Interesting.
ski mask.
Yeah, and he was wearing. I think when he came into the stadium yesterday, he was wearing the same outfit Ace had on yesterday,
Is that right?
Oh, really?
like
tracksuit?
an Under Armour tracksuit.
Heck yeah.
Flat out. It's a good look.
But he just had one of those Al Qaeda mask looking things on.
It was a little different.
I think that's what I saw. It was on ESPN, so I didn't have the sound up because I can't take it.
Yeah. Well, ESPN's back in the news. We'll get to that in just a second. But Tiger Woods and Nike announced their split after 27 years. I don't know why I got too invested in it. I just was so sad hearing that. But, Nike has some incredible commercials featuring Tiger Woods. Tiger's had Nike apparel on the majority of his career.
Well, his whole career. Since he turned
Yeah.
pro in 96, that's been the only brand he's ever worn.
Yeah.
Very cool ad I saw yesterday pop up on Twitter, and it just said, "Thanks for a great round."
Yeah. Hell of a round.
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
The hell of a round. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Really, really well done. Really well done. I've heard two things. One, he's already got a new deal in place that they're waiting to announce it. Two,
Yeah, with Dickies.
part of this is because Nike is redoing their golf line. They're restructuring their golf line. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to go do something else." And I think they may be moving away from some of that apparel. They're going to farm it out to somebody else, I think.
Maybe Charlie Woods,
That's one of the
Tiger's son.
rumors. Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't.
No. I was just thinking.
Today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So, Len, show some support to your local law enforcement officers of every rank and file today. And then the biggest story of the day began yesterday when Jimmy Kimmel went on his show and addressed this Aaron Rodgers feud. His entire monologue, I think it was 7 or 8 minutes, was dedicated to taking down Aaron Rodgers, basically called Aaron Rodgers too cocky, kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've got audio. I don't know if we want to play that now or wait.
Yeah, it's
wait
a
on
long.
it.
We'll wait a little bit and get to it in a second.
Okay. But originally, Aaron Rodgers was asked during like a press conference, like a team press conference for the Jets. He was like, "I'll address it tomorrow on the show," referring to Pat McAfee's show where he's going to be appearing today. So I guess Jimmy Kimmel wanted to get ahead of it and did like this whole monologue about Aaron Rodgers. And so now Aaron Rodgers is going to address it. So it's ABC, ESPN,
ESPN,
just
yeah.
it conflict, and it's celebrity. So it's like it doesn't affect anybody. So it's just fun.
Yeah, but here's the best part about it, though. To me, is that somewhere Pat McAfee's sitting around going, "Yes,
Thank God.
That's what I needed. That too. Here we go."
Yeah, it's gonna be
He knows
amazing.
They're
He's
going to
like-
have huge audience today
Yeah.
for this.
He's like, that's why I pay Aaron Rodgers over $1 million a year to be on my show once a week.
Sure.
Is that what he gets?
Yeah.
It's $1 million a year.
He gets $1 million, and Nick Saban gets $1 million a year to be on the show once a week. Wow.
But I bet a straight up IQ test, Aaron Rodgers smokes Jimmy Kimmel.
I wouldn't have any idea. Jimmy Kimmel says Aaron Rodgers went to community college and then went to Cal, never graduated. But Aaron Rodgers did host Jeopardy for like 2 weeks. He points that out.
There's that.
So I don't know. They've each got, but I will say, like, Jimmy Kimmel makes the point. He goes, regardless of how many jokes I've made about Aaron Rodgers, he accused me of maybe being a pedophile. And that's like another level. So I don't know. You'll have to sort of figure out who you like and who you don't like. But I love it. I think it's.
I don't like either one of them, and that's the fun part about it when Hollywood type people go at it.
Yeah, you got no stake in the game.
Right.
So
But in this one, I pick Aaron Rodgers.
sure,
He's
everybody's
not-
going to pick a side.
He's not the worst.
Yeah, you've got to
The
pick a
worst
side
one.
in this one.
So it's fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing everything that happens around that today. And those are a few things that are now trending.
We've got a situation with group therapy today that really I think a lot of people have encountered. It involves a couple. They've had a child and things have changed. And the guy's just trying to figure out what to do. And he's turning to the Ace and TJ Radio family for help because he knows many people have been in a very similar situation. Next.
It's a radio show, it's a podcast, and it's a TV show. Watch the Ace and TJ Show anytime. Just search for Ace TJ TV on YouTube. More of the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show is coming up.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Hi, I'm Thomas Davis, and let me tell you why I'm a proud member of Team Neogenics.
If your nagging pain is keeping you from being active, do something about it. Join the long list of pros and average Joes who have found relief with our stem cell and regenerative therapies.
After trying all the others, I decided to try Neogenics. My knees and shoulders haven't felt this good since my college days. If you want to get back in the game, do what I did. Visit Neogenics, where all you have to lose is pain.
When it comes to your money and things like a cash out refi, you hear a lot of stuff these days. Information is flying around, but here's the bottom line. You want someone you can trust. Well, here is someone that we trust. Richard Toccato and the Richard Toccato Companies. We worked with Richard for years, and you know all the ins and outs, and more importantly, you give everybody options.
That's right. We have a lot of options. You know, this one lady, we just refinanced her house, paid off all of her credit card debts. She even paid her car off. She's saving $1,000 a month. So that really changes her life and her, you know, her financial well-being.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to make a house payment until 2024. So, I mean, there's not a better time to do it is when you need the extra money every month.
They call it cash out, is what we call it in the business.
Cash out.
Cash out.
That's right. Cash out.
So it's one free 5-minute phone call right now, 704-800-4719, 704-800-4719, or go to homewithrichard.com. Do it today. You'll be so glad you did. The Richard Toccato Companies.
From the Calitrin Studios, Calitrin is the safe and effective way to lose weight. Find out more about Calitrin at acetj.com/weight loss. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
Before we get to group therapy, this is the clip from Jimmy Kimmel last night that Riggins mentioned a minute ago and now trending.
Aaron Rodgers has a very high opinion of himself. Because he had success on the football field, he believes himself to be an extraordinary being. He genuinely thinks that because God gave him the ability to throw a ball, he's smarter than everyone else. The idea that his brain is just average is unfathomable to him. Who went to community college, then got into Cal on a football scholarship and didn't graduate. Someone who never spent a minute studying the human body is an expert in the field of immunology. He just put on a magic helmet, and that G made him a genius. Aaron got 2 A's on his report card. They were both in the word Aaron, okay?
That's a good line. I'll give him credit for that. Yeah,
He didn't write that, though.
No, but that just continues on. So again, today, Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the Pat McAfee show, and Pat McAfee's just doing backflips. He's got to be so excited about that today.
But Jimmy Kimmel does the same thing. He doesn't have any study about the human body, but he's telling everybody how they ought to be vaccinated.
Yeah, but he says he's just, you know, he just follows along with what the scientists
With what
say.
the government
said.
So he's a drone and what you would consider a formerly funny drone.
So that's the latest on that one.
It's Tuesday. The doctors are in. This is group therapy on the Ace and TJ show.
Okay. This is a little interesting. First off, here's my favorite part of this. Hey, listen to your show all the time in Boise. I listened in Charlotte growing up, just found your app a few months ago, and I love it. So here's my question. By the way, before we get to his question, if you're unfamiliar, group therapy happens every Tuesday at this time. If you have an issue, problem, whatever, you can DM us, and we give our opinions, but then we get the opinion of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Here it is. I've been married to the love of my life for 4 years, since we were both 25. Last May, we had a baby. Everything's great. That's not the problem. The problem is, since then, she's been very self-conscious about her body. Before the baby, she would gladly walk around the house in her underwear or naked. She would sleep naked. She didn't hide her body at all, and it was great. We never even thought about it. But since the baby, she's had trouble getting back to the weight she wants to be at, which I don't care about, not even a bit. I truly don't. She's still her, and she's still sexy and attractive, and yes, I see the difference, but it doesn't matter. She, on the other hand, now wears baggy PJ pants to bed. We don't leave the lights on, if you know what I mean. And if I see her naked, which, because I like to do, she gets defensive and says, "What are you looking at?" It's a total 180 from what it was. Now it seems like a constant struggle for her to cover up and me to assure her everything's fine. By the way, all caps, I know it's not about how I feel, but about how she feels. But how can I convince her that I still find her very hot? That is a common situation, I think, for a lot of people who have experienced childbirth. Especially when it's your first.
I thought you were going to say especially women.
No.
It's a problem for people, especially women.
So again, he's not complaining about her appearance.
Yes, he is.
He's trying to say, how do I convince her that I still find her very attractive and I want her to be the old her no matter what?
One way you could use psychology to solve the problem is find somebody who is in much worse shape than she's in and pretend like you're all attracted to her. Okay. Then she'll think, oh, well, if that's what he likes, then, I'm a beauty queen compared to her. She'll start stripping right there in front of you.
And that will give her the confidence to go back to being her old self.
Start liking somebody like really fat. Pretend to be the chasingest chubby chaser ever.
Remember, TJ's solution to group therapy is always turn the tables.
Well, in this case, turning the tables would be to get big.
Yeah. Well, true.
And not let her see you or or act like you don't, turned on by her.
So there you go.
Or that she shouldn't be turned on by you.
Like you said, again, I know it's not all about how I feel, but about how she feels. How can I convince her that I still find her very hot? Why do you make that face, Riggins?
Because I don't know that that's on you to do, is it?
Well, but it's he wants to support her, and it seems like he's trying to be very supportive.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things he could do is to tell her, "Hey, I still find you. I don't know what you were. I still find you very attractive. I find you very sexy.
You hot girl."
He has told her all that.
She says, "What are you looking at?" You say, "You look so hot. I just love looking at you."
Yeah. Well,
Like all that.
I think it's fine. People don't need to be walking around naked anyway.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
No, it's gross.
Ace loves walking around naked.
It's gross.
I really don't.
Running around the house naked, you're just like,
But if you and your significant other are in your bedroom or bathroom, what's the problem?
But don't tell people.
Yeah, he comes here for help, TJ.
Please.
So that's our group therapy
He's
today.
just a pervert.
At the Ace TJ show.
I want to see something naked.
What should he do in this scenario? At the Ace TJ show, DM us if you want to remain anonymous. I'm sure a lot of people have experiences. We'll get your answers next. Hang on.
Live on your radio and anytime you want on the Ace and TJ family app or wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
When it's time for you to upgrade any of the furniture in your house, the first thing you need to do is check out Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. You're going to love the people that run Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Go to acetj.com/mattress and find them. When it comes to buying or selling a house, there are all kinds of people that can help you do that, but not like the Temple team at Keller Williams Realty. They are so much more than just real estate salespeople. Find out by going to acetj.com/Temple team.
It's more than just a great room that makes the Hyatt-centric South Park Charlotte such a special hotel. It's the great restaurants, the great bar, the great meeting rooms, and a superior location. Make reservations and get details at acetj.com/Hyatt. Today, every company is a technology company. No matter what type of business you're doing, you are a technology company in some fashion. But becoming a fully enabled digital workplace is not easy. That's why you should let CompuCom guide you. CompuCom is a proven leader in managed IT services. They deliver innovative solutions designed for how you work today and, most importantly, for how that will transform tomorrow. They help you deliver results. Just go to CompuCom.com for details. That's CompuCom.com.
Share Funny is now a little bit extra. Don't miss the Extra Funny podcast, live every weekday on the Ace and TJ Family app or anytime wherever you get podcasts. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
17 years ago today, the iPhone was unveiled. On this day in 2007, there are now 2.32 billion iPhones in the world. 2.32 billion iPhones have been sold. That is an astonishing number. Today's group therapy is, if you missed the story, he's 29, she's 29. They've been married for 4 years. Last May, they had a baby. Before the baby, she would gladly walk around the house in her underwear or naked. He said she didn't hide her body at all. It was great. We never even thought about it. But since the baby, she's had trouble getting back to the weight she wants to be at. I don't care, not even a bit. I truly don't. I still find her sexy and attractive. But he said she's very defensive. Like if he sees her naked, she's like, "What are you looking at?" He said it's a total 180 from what it was before. I know it's not all about how I feel, but about how she feels. How can I convince her that I still find her to be very hot? So at the Ace TJ show, you have the full thing is posted on our social media if you want to read it. But here's a good response from Rachel, who said, "I speak from experience. Postpartum is," just to say it's difficult. She's a different word. "It doesn't matter who tells you what. Your emotions and hormones are all over the place. She is looking in the mirror and has no idea who she is anymore. It takes time, but she'll learn to love her body that gave you your beautiful baby and let you love it too." Well, that was there. I do see a point that it was May and this is now January. It's been almost a year.
Why are you, Ace, last I checked as a man, putting a timer on how long postpartum should last?
I'm not. I'm saying I see his point in that. Hey, you know,
I think what has happened here, and I don't want to hurt his feelings or anything, but facts ain't got no feelings. After having the baby, her hormones and everything changed to where she doesn't find him attractive anymore.
Oh, she doesn't find him attractive.
She doesn't
anymore.
find him attractive enough to want to play with him and do those types of things. You know, her playfulness is gone because you did that to her. You're responsible for doing that to her body.
Yeah. I think the only thing he can do is just to keep reassuring her. Yeah. You know, leave her a little note here and there. You know, keep saying a good thing. Be patient. You know,
like no time.
I'm sorry, you wouldn't say help her get back into the shape that she's going to be happy with herself in? Like start training her and stuff? Ace?
I would not say that.
No?
I would not say
well,
that.
that's surprising.
No. Why is that surprising? That's not me. Yeah.
Hooking her to a rope that's attached to a semi, telling her to pull it down the street like the strongman competition.
We're going to get you into shape one way or another.
Right. That's exactly how I think that situation should be handled.
Making her catch chickens in the yard like Rocky.
Like Rocky?
I've never seen that movie, but he really does that to train.
Yeah, they put him in a
chickens.
They work on his quickness. They put him in a little area that's like a little pen, and he has to chase down a chicken. You ever try to catch a chicken?
No.
It is
hard.
It is
I'm
hard.
sure it
You
is.
gotta be. We gotta be quick with quickness.
I'd be scared to pick it up.
So time and continuing to be supportive sounds like it's the only thing that's going to work in this scenario.
Or make yourself irresistible. Become the desired fruit that she just has to have.
Yeah, lather yourself up in oil and walk around.
Yeah, with cowboy boots on.
There you go. That's great.
Why are you so oily? I thought it would turn you on.
Thrilled he turned to us for a solution now. Yeah.
Baby mama.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
Okay, there's a guy who's been arrested. And how he got arrested is a pretty funny story. But the police officers in this scenario use a phrase that I think is going to become a staple in all of our lives. Next.
It's radio. It's a podcast. It's the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.
Meal delivery services are a big thing right now, but Table and Twine is your local meal delivery service. The meals are fresh, not frozen like national chains. Plus, their meals start at just $7.99 a serving. Take back that time in your day, leave the shopping, preparation, and cooking to Table and Twine. Get details at tableandtwine.com. That's tableandtwine.com. Give the gift of health and community with the Gaston County Family YMCA membership. It's more than just a gym. It's an opportunity to join a community, receive support for health and wellness, and participate in programming for all ages. Get details at gastonymca.org.
If you want all of the heating, air, and electrical work in your house done by the very best, then you need Bradham Brothers. They've been a family business thriving for over 50 years, and that means they're doing something right. Go to BradhamBrothers.com.
This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show.
You know, people hide drugs everywhere. There's a video that's going viral of a man who was pulled over after a hit and run, and he had to be persuaded to show the officers the meth, or let them know, yeah, I've got meth on me. Well, you can figure it out from this, but listen to toward the end of this, about 15 seconds or so in, one of the cops uses a great phrase while calling this in that I think is going to become more common here for all of us in the Ace and TJ radio family.
Is there anything on you, dude? Use your words.
Here's the thing, too. You didn't give it a quick no, so that means you have something. You just don't want to say it. We're going to find it, so you just help us out and just tell us where it's at. Is it in or between the cheeks?
Between the cheeks.
Okay. What kind of underwear are you wearing? So you'd be able to kind of like jiggle it out down your leg for us?
Can you pick your butt with your hand? Hey, if we take him to jail, he admitted to having it. We'll let them know that he's got booty dope. Will that be fine?
We'll let them know that he's got booty dope.
Booty dope.
Excuse me, between the cheeks.
Yeah. They have to have that conversation in such a serious manner, and was no way I would just start laughing, I guess.
Yeah, that's just a slang in the trade.
I like
booty
that.
dope.
Let them know he's got booty dope.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're going to be using that.
Yeah.
Was it booty dope?
Yeah. I just thought that was too great. We'll let him know that he's got booty dope. And he said, you're right, TJ. The way he says is like, this is just a common thing. We'll tell him he's got booty dope.
He sounded so sad too. He's like, is it between your cheeks? And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you got me.
And there's a guy from Alabama who's going viral. His name is Connor Paget. This video has gone viral where he is at a New Year's Eve party and he gets stuck waist deep in a decorative urn.
I saw this. This is hysterical.
Yeah. We've had to clean it up quite a bit. But here you go.
I'm doing everything I can! You got it, Connor. You got it. You did it. Look, you can do it. You really can. You really can. Connor, this is an HR issue, honey. You're going to be there the rest of the night. Y'all going to have to find a camera.
We'll get you.
I love his accent. Y'all going to have to find a hammer.
He literally,
yeah, he's deep in it.
And his knees are stuck, so he can't get out, and they have to use a hammer to get him out.
Because he has the inability to stand up straight because of now, once he's in the urn, it prevents him from standing up straight. So they do have to get him out with a hammer. They have to break the thing to get him out. But watching it makes me feel weird.
And everybody's like, you can do it, Connor. He's like, I'm doing everything I can.
It's just a giant flower pot.
It's a big flower pot.
So dumb.
So an urn isn't always for remains?
No.
Oh. Coffee urn, they make.
Yeah, you can have decoration urns.
Mm-hmm. I was like, why was this such a large urn for remains?
It was a great big fat person that died.
Yeah, they'd use that, Rob, as they'd put the ashes in there and then plant a big flower in it or something. Yeah, so they've even got it tilted over sideways while they try to get out, and eventually they do have to break it open.
And that's when like panic sets in when you're like, okay, I'm like actually stuck, and now everybody's laughing at me, and I'm kind of drunk.
Yeah. And you know that's what happened. A New Year's Eve party. He said, I'm about getting out of that thing or something like that. And somebody said, but you can't, man. And sure enough, he did.
So Alabama had the Bass Pro Shop pool guy and then
Oh,
Yeah, the Earn guy.
And the Bass Pro Shop pool guy has been roasted online because, if you're going to get naked, people are going to make comments about your nakedness. You know what I mean? And I just see he has just been just destroyed online because he didn't buy the largest package at Bass Pro Shop while he was there before he got naked and jumped in the aquarium.
So he'll never get a woman now. Up until that, I think he would have still been okay being all drugged up or drunk or whatever he was and diving into the fish tank naked after crashing into a pole in the parking lot. He was still hot on the ladies' list. But now they've made fun of him on the internet for his lack of manhood. Yeah, he's finished.
This is the Ace and TJ Show.
The greatest celebrity feud all taking place today, coming up in Now Trending.
Live in the morning and anytime you want it on the Ace and TJ family app. This is the Ace and TJ podcast and radio show. More next.